Hello, folks. Welcome back to Reality Check with me. You know me well enough to call me Arvind now. Yeah, we're old friends. Today we've got an odd one, a peculiar one. Delhi elections. One fails to understand why is the Election Commission so silent? When the People's Representation Act is being blatantly flouted, beginning with the Aam Aadmi Party, followed by the Congress Party, and now the BJP as well. Why? Why is it being permitted? Haven't we already seen the results in 3 states? Himachal, totally bankrupt. They can't even find enough money to pay salaries of government employees, nor even the MPs. I mean, state legislative assembly people. You know what's happened in Karnataka? All taxes have gone up. Why? To pay for these freebies, which shouldn't be there anyway. 3. Delhi is almost bankrupt. You see, this bankruptcy is over and above the losses created by things like the liquor scam. What is the state of affairs? Well, let's see. The Aam Aadmi Party, including especially Mr. Kejriwal, promised he would clean up the river Jamna in 5 years. And he said, if he doesn't do that, throw him out of office. And then now he says, I never said that. Which tells you one thing about Mr. Kejriwal, he is a liar. He suffers from long-term and short-term amnesia. He makes promises and then forgets. He doesn't remember anything. So what's he doing handling government affairs? Then his excuses are, well, he keeps squabbling with the Lieutenant Governor. He says the LG won't let him do anything. Well, if he wants approval from the LG, first, when any proposal he sends to him for approval, he must sign it. If he doesn't bother to sign it, the LG will simply send it back. Because the LG probably does not have the authority to sign it because he's not the Chief Minister. Add to this a whole lot of other things. The liquor scam has depleted the Delhi state exchequer to such an extent there's no money for anything. There's no water in my sort of underground tank at home. Why? Where is it going? There are leaks everywhere which have existed for 10 and 15 and 20 years. Why have they never been repaired? The only so-called development work that's taken place is the rise of unauthorized JJ colonies, i.e. slum colonies, mainly Bangladeshis. All illegal migrants, why are they being settled here? Is this Kejriwal's vote bank? And if so, what are they doing here? What are all the agencies in every state doing about this? Nothing. They don't even know it's happening. What happened? All these guys come in from Bangladesh, all illegal migrants. By the time they get to the India border with Bangladesh, they've already got their Aadhaar card, they've already got their voter cards, and most of them already have their, PAN cards. And many also have driving licenses. And by the time they get to where they're going to be settled, they have ration cards as well. What's being done about it? Now they're beginning to wake up. Why? What kept them quiet for so long? Surely they should have been at it ever since the riots in Shaheen Bagh. And as I said earlier in one of my other videos, where do you find these guys? They find them around every state capital. You'll find them in large urban centers. Now you start finding them in villages because the Waqf board has started taking over villages, entire villages. Bangladesh all over again. Now when you get 200 million Bangladeshis wandering into India, where do we go? And then the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party keep saying, oh, there's an unemployment problem. You're causing it. You're bringing in 60 and 70 million Bangladeshis and you give them jobs. Every Muslim organization screaming for them to give them jobs. Why? They want to rule India without knowing the first thing about anything. Until recently, Muslims simply looked at the Quran. That's it. That was their total education. Is that what helps you to rule a country? No. What have they managed to do in Pakistan? It's an absolute shambles. What is Bangladesh? Worse, if not clear through the bottom of the barrel, it is almost there. Wherever you get a Congress government, you see West Bengal, what do you have there? Telangana, before long, that's going to go bankrupt. Why? Freebies. Now, Aam Aadmi Party is going overboard with freebies, followed by the Congress Party in Delhi, and now even the BJP has started. Well, the moment you start handing out these freebies, what will you have left over for any form of development? Now, in 10 years of Aam Aadmi Party and Kejriwal rule, what have they managed to do with Delhi? The roads are full of potholes. Half the places the roads just cave in. There's no repair work, it's only patchwork. If you see 4 potholes, they'll put cement and concrete in one and leave the other 3. And say, we've done it. We've repaired it. That's just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, as if you've not done even the one. Come again, now they talk so much about these mohalla clinics. Yes, half a dozen exist. What about the others? Either there are doctors and no medicines, or some medicines and no doctors. Half of them never even opened. A good chunk of them never even opened, sorry. So where are they? Schools. You take old schools, paint them up a little and they say, it's a new school. No way. Most of the schools don't have either principals or vice principals. Who's going to look after it? Who's going to run the administration there? I mean, this man is just no damn good. Now, what are the alternatives? You've got the Congress Party, which is another word for corruption. In case you've forgotten, let me remind you, remember the Commonwealth Games so-called showpiece? The things that went on, the shenanigans that went on there. A 40 crore project ended up being over 4,000 crores. You understand what corruption means? One of the examples was air conditioning systems. The rental for 2 months was higher than having purchased the whole thing on its own and kept it here permanently. This is the sort of rubbish that went on. Now, Mr. Kejriwal, see what you did in Punjab. You remember what I said about Himachal Pradesh and Karnataka? These are Congress governments. What about Punjab? They promised a whole lot of people 1,000 rupees a month. I think the ladies. 3 years into their term, not one check has arrived at the point where it should have gone. No ladies in Punjab have received that. Not one. But then, if even one receives it, both that person and the Chief Minister or the Minister responsible for dispersing this money will be behind bars. It is not, because that is bribery. It is called buying their votes. They're trying to tell us, every man, jack, woman and child in this country, we are corrupt. We're handing over some of that corrupt money. That means you are as corrupt as I am. Because I'm buying your vote. Still no action is taken? Why? Does someone have to go to the police, file an FIR, much against their will, before the police take action? No. Why should it be that way? Why cannot the police take action the moment they come across this and start investigating? Find a few and put them behind bars. Give it a lot of publicity. It doesn't matter who you are, you try bribery and corruption. You're behind bars and you're going to stay there. Change the laws if necessary, because the laws in this country are ludicrous. They're still British Raj rules designed to protect the British or the white man. You couldn't prosecute Britishers in this country pre-1947. This was their safeguard. And all these politicians, especially the Congress party, have been using those laws to shield itself from the law, which means they are above the law. I mean, what kind of nonsense is this? You want women getting, 2,100 a month, somebody else offers 2,000, somebody else says 2,500 a month. What for? Why? Why is my tax money going into all this? Is there no sense of decency anymore? Yes, if there was a planned pension plan applicable to everybody, rich, poor, anybody, I'm with it. I'm with you there. But now it seems that without freebies, you can't get elected. What kind of a state have we got into? Corruption, total corruption. There's no way out. Why? You see, Congress, not only corruption but looting. I've only mentioned one. Look around, you find a whole lot of others. What about the BJP? What it has done at the centre, it beggars belief. No government has ever done that in 67 years before. See what they've done. What have they done to the railways, the defence services, defence production, defence research? Opened up the economy totally. Now, motor cars came in, big boom, all sorts of cars, and now we've got pollution. Mr. Kejriwal promised he would clean up the river Jamna. The river Jamna today is much dirtier than it was 5 years ago. Why? Drinking water is so full of ammonia that even the refining capacity of these the water plants, purification plants, that goes down because they have to remove far more ammonia and stuff like this. You see the froth on the river. How? How do we manage to survive in Delhi? And this is the capital of the country. What kind of a mess have you made of it? Last summer, 2024, we had power cuts almost every day for a 3 or 4 month period. Why? I mean, you start giving free electricity to people, they overload the system. Everybody suffers, but they get free power. Now, nobody's giving them free power. I'll tell you why. Those who do pay, their meters are going much faster than normal. If you use 100 units, the meter will show 120 to 140 or 150 units. There's nothing you can do. You just have to keep paying. Plus the government gives them a subsidy. The power companies are laughing all the way to the bank. They don't mind. But we have to do the paying. You give them free water. Okay? We pay for it because our meters are racing. And the water we get is either mixed with sewage water or if the pressure is so low, much of it won't even come into your underground tanks. You have to keep getting tankers. And they'll only give you 1 day supply. This is the state of affairs in the capital city in the country. This is what freebies do. Because when you give freebies, especially to JJ colonies or slum colonies, they just turn the taps on and leave it open. Let it run. Why should I care? I'm not paying for it. I don't have to pay for it. So let it go. And we who make it a point to be careful, we have to keep on paying almost in blood. This freebie culture has to be stopped, and the Election Commission had better pull its socks up and get its act together. Otherwise, it's pretty useless. Just counting votes is not what it's there for. If you must get another particular force of police folk to police elections, not just make it possible for elections to take place, but to police it, to make sure the law is followed. Because these practices are totally against the law. And it's about time citizens began getting the governments to enforce it, getting the Election Commission to get up off its behind and enforce all this. Laws are not there to be broken. They're meant to be observed and obeyed. You don't like it, please go somewhere else. Maybe that's why I am so much in favor of one nation, one election. Why? Because it simplifies a whole lot of things. One, you won't have this election cycle every 3 months somewhere or other. Two, the amount of money that's wasted on elections every 3 months somewhere or other in India, a huge saving on that. You don't have to do it all in one day, just like your national election or at the moment. You split the country into 4 or 5 different areas, one at a time. 1 day, 5 days you can do the whole lot. It's not impossible. In fact, there was a time when all central and state elections could be held in 1 day. All in 1 day. Yes, I've seen that happen. Why can't you do it now? Have we become that lazy or bone idle? Or that corrupt? Why are so many illegal migrants in this country? Why is nothing being done? I mean, when you've got 60 or 70 million of them here and you send back 200 or 300, there isn't even a drop in the ocean. Mr. Kejriwal, we know A, is totally incapable of doing anything. B, he is totally corrupt. Where the money goes, don't ask anybody, he may know. He is a former income tax officer, so he's not exactly an idiot. But he's one with brains gone totally wrong. And such people have to be weeded out. The Congress has been corrupt all the time. Maybe we ought to give BJP a chance this time and hope to God they come up with the right goods. Because if they don't, then I feel sorry for this country of ours. It's time the citizens of this country got up on their feet, got up off their behinds, and started calling the government and telling them, look, perform, or we'll teach you the sort of lesson you never want. As for Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Please keep your war against India to yourself. We don't need such scum. Yes, I'm an angry man today because I see the sort of rottenness which is set in such a low level from the top right down to the bottom. It's not funny anymore. Instead of sitting down and counting your millions in your bank, start getting up and doing something about it. Well, thanks, folks. Please send this around, make people understand this is not good enough. Do something. Ciao.